Hello everybody and welcome to the official final review of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. For those of you who are still doubting about buying the game after the week that it's been released right now, I'm gonna tell you today if you should or shouldn't, if it lives up to the hype, and basically just gives you all the information that is gonna allow you to decide whether to buy this game or not. So bear with me. We're gonna talk about the world, exploring, combat, music, graphics, and the storyline and the overall judgment of the game. So let's first off start with the world. A lot of people have been asking about it, have been wondering about it, because how big is this world? People of CG Projekt Red have announced that this world will be gigantic, that it will be enormous, that it will be vast, open and free to explore. Has it lived up to that hype? Yes, it definitely has. It is the only thing that's a bit of a downer for me. Coming back to that later because it isn't actually, but at first, when I heard that it wasn't an actual fully open world, you can't go from Velen to the Skellige Isles. You're gonna have to fast travel in between. But honestly, believe me, that's a blessing. Velen, the world, the main end area where you'll be spending most of the time in the game, is absolutely gigantic. Not overreacting. It is really, really huge, and it will take you over a day worth of playing just to explore everything by horse and find all the different signs and markers on the map so you can fast travel in between them. I have spent my first day just going to the markers because there's certain markers at towns and certain areas where you can fast travel in between. It took me a whole day of pure gameplay just to find all the markers in Velen. Not even talking about Skellige or anything like that. So the scale of this world is gigantic and lives up to the hype. Now, cities and towns to be found everywhere. You have the Oxenfurt, which is a really big city in Velen, and then a bit north of that there is Novigrad, the big capital of Velen. Novigrad is absolutely amazing. It looks really good. It's really vast and really there's a variety of buildings and people. You have thieves, mages, whores. There's everything to be found. Dwarves, merchants. Everything is there to be found. There's loads of missions, loads of side quests, loads of things you can get involved to. You can go to merchants, get your weapons crafted or upgraded, and go to a barber or go to a brothel if you like. But then talking about the scale of that as well, Novigrad is huge. It is really big, and it will take you a couple of hours to explore everything, every little street corner, because there's always a chance you'll find something in this game. In every crevice and corner, you will be able to find loot, or a mission, or someone you need to help, or or some character you're gonna be needing, or I don't know, or a certain clue. Because you don't always necessarily need to take on a contract to get side quests. You can just find something and then there'll be clues around it and you can solve it for yourself. There is always something to find and do in this game, especially in the cities and towns. But don't get me wrong, there is loads to do in the normal areas as well. Exploring in this game is something that is really, really fun. That's genuinely fun to do. You'll find a dead body and use your Witcher senses. For those of you who don't know what that is, Geralt is a Witcher who are mutated to have superhuman powers. Not as in they can punch cars and throw 2 tons of weight off their body. It's just basically they're very sensitive for both smell, sound and sight. They are extremely capable of being able to follow tracks in this way. So if you find a dead body and use your Witcher sense, and then find there's a certain scent you can follow or footsteps you can follow, and then it will lead you to a new clue, or maybe even the person who killed the person or monster that killed that person, that dead body. And so that's just one of the many sort of side quests you can find. Also, you can still find contracts, which are just in almost every village and city where people are being haunted by ghosts or wraiths, or there's a certain monster that's killing the people of the area, and you have to take on a contract. You can actually demand a certain amount of money. They will try to convince you to earn a bit less, and so on. You can negotiate over the sum you will receive at the end of the mission. And then you go off, kill that monster, and first find some clues of its whereabouts, and then go after it and kill it, and you can get it back. But every single contract usually takes up about half an hour to up an hour, sometimes even longer depending on what you find on your way. Now to go on to combat. The combat gameplay of this game is slightly, well, I say slightly, very much different from any other RPG except for the earlier Witcher games. Combat is more difficult, and it's not just hack slash the fact that you have to receive a blow. You are able to both parry and do a counter attack or dodge attacks, where dodging is way easier with monsters because most of the time you can parry attacks from monsters. You have a steel and a silver sword. A steel sword is used against humans and animals, while silver swords are used. Well, your silver sword is used against undead, ghosts, and other monsters. You also have your signs, which are very useful in combat. You have Ard, which is like a force push. You can also use this to open certain areas. There's Igni, which is by far my favorite one. Igni releases a small amount of fire, which will burn enemies, set alight all the torches or fire pots in the area, or will scare off horses to throw their riders off their backs so you can fight them one-on-one on the ground. There's Yrden, which is a magic trap. If you use that, enemies inside of that will be demobilized and slower. As for Moonwraith and other wraiths, I'm actually aware that you have to use them to actually be able to hit them properly. There's Quen, which is really nice, which is protective shield. If you use Quen, any sort of smash or arrow or sword slash that comes upon you will be blocked, and you will lose no amount of health. And the last one is Axii, which is sort of a charm thing. You can convince people to do certain things just by using that spell, or you can stun enemies in combat. Now, the music of this game is something we want to talk about too. The music is amazing, it's awesome, it's so good, and it fits the gameplay, it fits the areas you're in. Every island on the Skellige has its own soundtrack, and the cities as well as the towns as certain areas all have their different kind of music, both for normal exploring mode as for combat, and it's amazing. It fits really well, and it's really nice to listen to, and it stays stuck in your head as well. I still sing along, like there's no really like vocals, but I still hymn along with the tracks that are in the game. It's really good. Now on to the graphics, maybe one of the most important things for a lot of people. Has there been an actual downgrade? Well, a lot of people have been wondering. Yes, there has been a downgrade ever since the first showed us of the game 2 years ago. The reason why is something they've explained to us. It wouldn't have been possible for them to release a game of the scale it is with the amount of graphics that it was 2 years ago. As you've probably heard, loads of consoles and PCs aren't even able to play the game properly as of now, simply because it's such a big game. The graphics still look amazing, and it's difficult for any system to bear with that amount of pressure. That's why they've downgraded it, but believe me, talking about the final looks at how it came out, it still looks bloody awesome. Now, onto, for me, the most important part of this game, of the Witcher series in general, the story. It's full of action, love stories, and intensity, and there's so much to do, so much different ways you can go, as this game is all up to you to decide what happens with the world. You're not a hero, you're not like in Dragon Age or in Skyrim, where you are our main protagonist who is actually the only one that's able to save the world. If you want to, you can just say, just fuck the world, basically. That's what you can say. You can say, I can't be arsed, I'm just about doing the main story, which I'm not gonna spoil anything about, but I'm not gonna join into these actions of saving the world, of helping people out, or I'm just here to make money and do what I have to do. You can do that, and that's what makes this game really good. You can be a giant dickbag, or you can go out and be helpful, help people out, and try to save the world from certain things that are happen. But again, the choice is all up to you. Now, do you need to have played the previous Witcher games to jump into this one? No, you don't. It might be good to do some research on the background of the story, just so you understand some of the jokes and some of the lines that are in here. But you don't need to have played the previous games, because this game will help you jump right into it, even if you're totally new to this Witcher game. Now, the overall judgment for me for this game is that it's absolutely amazing. Again, I have been playing it for about 50 hours and I'm nowhere near the end. Most of the things I've done are either side quests or contracts, or loads and loads of exploring, and I've had a blast so far. Every day when I quit this game, I can't wait to start playing it again the next day. honestly, if you like RPGs and you're in doubt if it's gonna be worth your money, honestly, go and check it out. Link will be in the description. GTA with a discount code 5%, which you can use on my link only. So make sure to check out that link. It's $30 up there for PC, and if you want to buy it for console, you're gonna have to look somewhere else probably. My overall rating for this game is 9.5 out of 10. So it's amazing, and I would definitely suggest you to check you out. This has been my final review of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I hope you find this useful, and thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you did, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and then I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye, and enjoy playing The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.